Hello, good evening, Realm Runners. My name is Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian in the Discord, and you're watching the Achroma weekly live stream for Monday, the 27th of November. I hope you're all doing well. Welcoming those that just joined us as well. Just cope with it. Good to see you as well. So let's start by going straight to the question that I gave you guys at the start or the countdown of the stream to get to welcome everyone in. So I asked you the question: if you had to spend a weekend at an Achroma location, being a specific card, which would it be and why? So to welcome in everybody that is here live with me, let's go through and have a little look. If you are watching this on the replay, then still feel free to comment your favorite or where you would like to go in Achroma, and we'll respond to them in due course. But welcome in, let's see who was in first. Welcome in Shah, welcome Rebecca. Thank you both for being so early to the stream. Welcome in Shaz as well. Welcome in Sarah. Wishing me, I hope I had a good holiday and anniversary. I did. It was very nice. Thank you. Good to be back. For those that may be new to the community, these streams are normally on a Sunday, but the last two have been moved to a Monday due to me selfishly having some time off. But yeah, welcome in to Unequal Sanity. Good to see you. Let's see. So, in terms of the question, the first person to come in was Dickon. Welcome in, Dickon, saying Lacringy Gardens as where you'd like to spend your weekend. You know what? I can see that. I think that would be a really nice, a little bit of gardening, very, very calm. I think that'd be quite nice. Yeah, that was in my kind of top three when I was choosing. Heron came in with, I'm going to go with fishing docks and have a nice chill weekend doing some fishing. That sounds really relaxing, and looks like Sarah's gone for a nice relaxing weekend too, but instead going to Splat Square, a weekend with the fairies. Again, whenever we bring up questions like these, though, Sarah, I never mention the fact that you would be your size. So I wonder whether Splat Square has a human area that is human sized, or whether, you know, you could walk around Splat Square in 3 steps probably. Shaz has said Dragon's Watch, as I get to see loads of dragons, and yeah, like I responded in chat, you know, that'd be a nice chilled weekend, sat there just watching dragons go by. Very nice. Snake's gone for Slay Scorch Pools, which again, I appreciate some people might not know what these cards are, but Slay Scorch Pools is very much like a hot springs in a winter scene, so very, very relaxing with that one. I like that one. I can just picture being there in it being a bar in the middle of the square. Yeah, that could be good. Yeah, nice little bar. Oh, sorry, I'm going to sneeze in a moment. Welcome in, Ricky. Oh, nope. By saying hello, Ricky, I managed to get rid of the sneeze. Welcome in, playing Achroma, otherwise known as Ricky. Good to see you, mate. Wrangled Woods. I love forests. Oh, a nice foresty walk. That sounds like a good idea. That's a nice evening. Oh, nice weekend. Charles wants to go to the Achroma crater. You want to go to... You want to go to one of the sources of Achroma, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's a source, but you know what I mean. You want to go and gather up all the resources. Good evening, just cope with it. Good to see you. Rebecca says Achroma Balanium is one of my favorite locations from the Stonewaste Drakes. It's a rare card. It is very, very much indeed a rare card, and I guess yeah, that'll be a nice place to visit as well. You know, it looks. I mean, it's dark and mysterious, but hey, some people like that, and you get to meet a lot of the Drakes as well. Maybe Tenebrae. So yeah, that'd be a good destination. Just Cover that goes Draco Planum Library. Would love to learn more about the text found within. That is very true. For the avid readers out there, getting to spend a weekend in the Draco Planum Library would mean a lot of reading and get to find a lot of information. That'd be cool. Hey, Sadistic, welcome in. And that's perfect because you have literally just said actually where genuinely of all the locations, that was going to be my answer, Sadistic, the fire pit. Yeah, the fire pit, it's all, again, for those who haven't seen the fire pit card, I haven't got one to hand, but it's literally just, imagine like the side of a mountain with a cave in it and a campfire. I personally really like camping trips, so I'd love the idea of just, hey, for the weekend, let's just sit in the fire pits, enjoy a nice roaring fire, some marshmallows, and camp out with that beautiful view in that card. So that is where I would go as well, Statistic. So hey, maybe you would join me for a camping weekend. Evan says Corrupted Portal would be amazing to see. Okay, so you go sightseeing, Evan. Very nice. Well, welcome in everybody to the Achroma weekly stream on Monday, the 27th of November. Thank you to everybody that is in the live stream with me. A nice little question to start the day. For those who don't understand how the Achroma Weekly live stream normally runs, if you're relatively new here, so we will always start by going through the Achroma news, events, and previews. That is where we will cover any of the Achroma news that has happened in the last week or anything that is upcoming. We'll talk about any events that have happened and also any that are upcoming. And we'll also, where possible, provide some previews for some new cards coming out, of which today we have got some previews. We then normally have what's called the Realm Table discussion. So that is where I normally get a couple of the community members on or sometimes staff members as well to have a chat with me for half an hour about a particular hot topic in Achroma. Now, being honest, this is one of those weeks where unfortunately we're going to have to skip the Realm Table, and that's purely because you know, the fact that I was away for 4 days and we've been so busy, I haven't got anyone lined up for today's Realm Table. However, it should be noted, I will mention it now, that starting with this week, we're going back to the regular scheduling for the weekly live streams. So that means you guys are only going to have to wait 6 days for the next Achroma weekly live stream, as that will be this Sunday at 7. And for that one, we will have a Realm Table. So for tonight, we're going to be skipping out that middle section, but we will have another one later this week. And then we finish the stream with the community showcase, and that is where we will be highlighting all of the amazing things the community have done in the last week of Achroma. So that is looking at community content that people have, you know, videos and articles people have made, as well as any artwork that people have made, and any kind of custom palette builds, just anything that people have gotten creative with Achroma this week. So with that, let's get started with the Achroma weekly live stream. Starting with product updates. So we always like to start with kind of any just general updates, whether it's Kickstarter related or regular products, anything that is in progress. And today, I do not disappoint. So we put out an announcement, an update earlier in the week in Discord relating to the showcase, which we will talk about the showcase a little bit later on in the stream. But some of the eagle eyes in there will have noticed that essentially one of the products that we were going to be revealing at the showcase was this product I'm about to show now. So yeah, because we're not doing the showcase, more on that in a moment, we're going to show it on stream today instead. Now, I don't have all of the information for you. We're going to be giving you a bit more as the week progresses, but I am going to kind of announce what is coming and talk a little bit about it. So the new product that I have to show you this week is called Dexter's Dragon Riders. Here you go. So let's have a little read through together, shall we? So welcome to the Dragon Rider School of Cassander, where the Dragon Riders of Altari and the Drake Rider Rebellion battle to control the skies. Dexter's Dragon Riders is a perfect introduction to Achroma, as well as being a standalone game out of the box for 2 players. These Achroma cards are compatible with all other Achroma releases. The box contains 2 30-card palettes, 1 Achroma palette and 1 Achroma. So let's discuss a little bit about what these are then. Now, I don't have, again, I can only tell you little bits of information today, but we will be giving you more throughout the week. But essentially what this is it's designed, one of the most common things that we have as feedback, or, sorry, let's start that sentence again. When we are selling the Achroma at, events and stalls and, in stores, the first question we tend to get is people, we'll tell people about Achroma and they'll go, I'm sold, I want to buy some cards. What do you recommend I buy first? And obviously we do now have our starter set and our deluxe boxes, which are aimed at that. But you do sometimes get people that just say, I just want a couple of palettes that I can just try the game with. You also sometimes get parents that have some kids and just say, hey, look, I just want a couple of palettes that they can go out and play with. And effectively, this is what this box is aiming to fill. It is a perfect starter box for 2 players, where someone could just go, I can just buy this, go home and give it a go. As you can see, it comes with 1 Achroma palette and 1 Achroma palette, which is almost kind of the perfect head-to-head. And without giving you too much flavor, I will say the cards have been designed to be relatively a little bit more on the simplified version. So, I appreciate some of our releases can have some quite complex keywords and some really cool mechanics. These have been kind of minimized a little bit. So the cards themselves are relatively simple, so that it is kind of the easiest game of Achroma to have a go at and learn. So it's very much aimed at new players coming in and playing. However, as it says there, that last line, these are compatible with other Achroma releases. So although this will be Draco Realm, so to be very clear, you won't be able to, there's not Realm Runners in this box. You won't be able to mix and match any of these cards with other realms. These cards will be mix and matchable with the Last Snow Dragons of Altari and obviously the wow, you can tell that I've had a very long day today. Suddenly, the Siege Draco Temple went out of my head. But yeah, so it is compatible with both of the previous Chronicles when it comes to palette building. Does the money go towards charity or some kind of money raised? No, so these aren't charity cards. They're called Dexter's Dragon. Sorry, they're called Dexter's Dragon Riders because all of their lore is surrounded around Dexter as well. But these are not charity cards. These are still just standard cards. I'm not sure if we are doing any other charity cards soon. If we are, I'll let you know. Welcome in, Olfa. No worries at all. Great to see you, buddy. So to give you a little bit more information about them, so here you go. Here's a little bit about, what you can expect. So a bit like our first edition boxes, you'll have a nice outer card sleeve. And when you open it inside, there'll be 2 palettes. The first thing you might notice is there are no legendaries in these palettes, just rares, commons, and uncommons. Again, they're designed to be relatively... now, don't worry, these 2 cards are the 2 that I've got previewed in a moment. There are no legendaries in this box, so I think I'd need to double check my notes here. Yeah, so I can't say right now exactly what the card compositions are made of, but there are no legendaries in this palette. They are just rares, commons, and uncommons, but they are obviously an even amount. So what have I got? What's my next image? Oh yeah, so here's the next question that some of you are going to want to know is when is this coming out? There you go. Go back to my image. So It is going to be released on the 12th of December, so it's just around the corner. Pre-orders will be opening up in 3 days' time. So yeah, it's the perfect two-player introduction starter set. So if you've maybe got some friends or family that are looking to get into Achroma, but haven't really haven't really had an idea of what to buy them, then it could potentially be a good Christmas present for friends or family that want to give Achroma a go. For those who already have Achroma, if you really like the Dragon cards, if you've already got the Last Snow Dragons of Altari or Siege of Draco Temple, then it's a great cards to mix into those. But yeah, effectively, Alpha, it's essentially just a two-player introduction starter set. Like, in all honesty, Alpha, if I appreciate Yellow Wolf Productions only recently got into the game, if this product had been out when you got into the game a month or so ago, I probably would have recommended this because it's the perfect pick it up, 2 palettes, well balanced against each other, and relatively simple as well. What else have we got here? Oh, a nice log cabin. That's my new favorite location. I mean, just you wait. I have got those cards to show you in a moment. I only found out about the reason behind Dex's card last week. Yeah, Dex's story is a sad one, but really motivating as well, though. Is it fully cross-compatible with regular Draco stuff? Yes, it absolutely is, Taurus. Yeah, so if you have Last Snow Dragons of Altari or Siege of Draco Temple, then absolutely these cards will be, for regular players like myself and those in the chat, the reason to still purchase this is it does work brilliantly with the other cards. But if you're new to the game, or if you haven't picked up your first product yet, then maybe this is the perfect starting point for you, as it'll be just 2 out-of-the-box palettes ready to go. Damn, I'm a month early. Yeah, I've been looking forward to these as well. We play tested them a little bit a while ago. It's been great. So I appreciate that you guys want to probably have a look at those 2 cards. Now, I've only got 2 reveals for you. So here's the 2 rares. Let's have a look at those, shall we? So the first rare we've got here is Haskus. So he is is it he? I'm not even sure. So she, sorry. So she is a 3-cost 2 steel rare. So quite a good, Drakes quite often struggle with shard ratio. So actually 3 costs for 2 steel is pretty huge. And she does have an action as well, which is action, draw a card for each Drake on your canvas. So not only is that just a really, really good for the palette that you get out of the box, but for those looking to build custom palettes back with Draco Temple and Altari, yeah, get loads of Drakes out, drop Haskus, and you get lots of card draw and some steel as well. So she is really, really cool. Not only that, but the artwork is stunning. Very, very cool looking. Are these first editions or unlimited? That's actually a very good question, Just Cope With It. As far as I'm aware, they're going to straight away unlimited edition, but they'll be in that 2 box. However, I do not know for certain, so please don't take that as a full answer. As far as I'm aware, we're not doing first editions of these. But yeah, not too sure. That's also a very good question, Playing Chroma. Any idea how much this will cost? Again, I do not have that answer today. I imagine that's going to be something revealed throughout the week once we get the pre-orders up. But the honest answer is I don't know. But I imagine that it's going to be quite fairly priced around the amount of cards you're getting, on the basis that the whole point of this is supposed to be a, hey, pick this up first sort of thing. But I appreciate it's a great question. I don't know the answer. I'm not sure if any of the other core team are in the chat and are willing to give the answer, but otherwise we'll find out throughout the week. And then the other card that was previewed there, the other rare, is Dexter's Dwelling, which, again, for those that know the Dexter card and know that we now have, Boom and Crackle as well, this is such an amazing location. So it costs 3 and it's a +3, so it's already just as strong as cards like Monastery Nest, but it has an action. Turn over the top card of your palette. If it's a dragon, draw it. Otherwise, put it to the bottom of your palette. So effectively, it's a really strong location for 3 cost +3, but you are pretty much guaranteed. Sorry, not guaranteeing. You are getting a decent chance at getting a dragon card drawn, and the artwork is just absolutely beautiful. That's fair. Looks like I'll need to order 2, one to complete and one to keep complete and one to a palette out. Yeah, that's likely what I'll do as well, Just Cope. I think this is the sort of box that I'm probably going to keep. I'm probably also going to buy 2, where I'll keep one as a, if I have like a friends or family over that maybe want to try Achroma, then I'll kind of use this as almost my out of the box tester game, to teach them the game, as that is literally what it's designed for. But then I will also have a set, which is, for palette building. I might even pick up several, because you know what it's like. Yeah, exactly, of friends or family. You know what I mean? So yeah, There we go. So that is Dexter's Dragon Riders. So, like I said, that is one of the things we were going to be revealing in the showcase on Thursday that unfortunately has now been cancelled, which we'll talk about more in a moment. That is all the information I have on it for now. As a reminder, pre-orders are up 30th of November. It will be released on the 12th of December. And I've been told we will be revealing more information and more previews for you throughout the week, and obviously on Sunday stream as well. A bit of a new one releasing on Nerdries, but it makes sense, keeps the numbers equal across the realm. Yeah, very true, Taurus. You know, we're also well aware that the fact that, you know, this starter set, we designed it around Dexter because of Dexter, but, you know, one could argue that technically now Draco has had, like, an extra half set. So we didn't put any legendaries in for a couple of reasons. One, because the whole point is we're trying to keep the game simple. We're trying to keep these cards simple. And legendaries can sometimes throw in some quite complex abilities, and also to try and not let there be too big a power creep, considering that suddenly, you know, Altari did just come out a little while ago. But yeah, so it's going to be really, really cool. We'll get more information on it as the week goes on, and those previews I will put into the Discord after stream. If anyone has any questions in the meantime, feel free to still fire them my way. I might not have the answer, but I will try my best. So that is Dexter's Dragon Riders. So next then is about realm modifiers. So now this is a bit of a big one, to be honest. Now I appreciate that people are in the people that have come from the Discord, you will likely know all about realm modifiers already if you'd have seen my announcement over the weekend. However, this is a perfect opportunity. If anybody has any questions about it, then fire them my way. But it's also a good opportunity because it is such a big new thing for Achroma. We obviously want to shout about it as much as possible on all of our socials to make sure everybody's aware. So I'm going to go through in quite some detail what modifiers are, because there are likely people that are watching the stream that have no idea what I mean by them. So, Achroma Realm Modifiers is a new feature, a new integral part of the game Achroma Canvas that has come out over the weekend. Now, the idea behind Achroma Modifiers is when you when you're starting up a game of Achroma Canvas, you will choose in the app which realm you are playing. So you will tell the app, I'm playing from Draco, or I'm playing from Salem, I'm playing from Sparta, or I'm playing from Norso. And when you tell the app which realm you're playing from, it will then give you one positive modifier and one negative modifier, which will affect your personal gameplay for that game. So effectively, it's just extra abilities or extra passives going on in the background based on which realm you're playing. And the whole reason why we're bringing this in is, well, several reasons really. One reason is to keep the game fresh. We are fully aware that for people that play this game, you know, every single evening, you know, unless even when you're buying every new set of cards, it's still 3 months in between sets of cards. So it's nice to try and find ways to freshen up the game a little bit. And modifiers is a way of doing that, because these modifiers will suddenly make some palette ideas that you've maybe had kind of, you know, you maybe thought, oh, I want to play that palette, but it's not that strong. Suddenly that palette might be actually really strong, and vice versa. Palettes that maybe you play against all the time that are just, they constantly keep winning, or palettes that you just, oh, I wish I would see a palette other than these, you know, top 4 or 5. Some of those will likely be, you know, worse off with the modifiers. So a little bit of balancing as well. Now, I should mention to start with that all of the information about realm modifiers you can find on our website. So I've got it up here so we can actually have a little bit of a look. So this is at achroma.games. You know, I'll literally copy and paste it into the stream. But to be very clear, it is underneath the stream as well. The link is there. Or you can go to the achroma.games website. At the bottom of the website, you've got pages, and it is the top page. So let's read a little bit about it, because rather than me just kind of rambling, we have a nice little write-up here. So as you can see, as the magical power of Achroma and Acrom ebbs and flows across the 5 realms, so does the gameplay of Achroma in the form of realm modifiers. So realm modifiers are positive and negative abilities that take effect in a game of Achroma Canvas, and which abilities affect you will be down to which realm you choose to play. So it'll be different for everybody. And as it says there, these abilities will be changed every so often to keep the game feeling fresh, varied, and balanced. So these aren't like, you know, these aren't set in stone. And we haven't even really decided as a team yet exactly how often we'll refresh these. It might be every 3 months. It might be every month. It might be every 2 weeks. We just don't know yet. We are just, you know, we're seeing how they lie and going from there. Now, as it says there, when starting a game of Achroma Canvas using the app, you'll be asked to select which realm, and the app will tell you your modifiers. So I appreciate that for some feedback we've got is it's another thing to remember, but the app will have it nice and neatly there to remind you. However, we should note that the app function is coming out in the next few days. We really want, it's one of the reasons why we didn't bring it out sooner, is we really wanted to wait until the app was ready. But the reason why we have gone ahead and released it slightly early before the app was ready is purely down to the fact that we appreciate that the Grand Tournament is now a matter of weeks away, and we wanted to give as much time as possible to competitors to be able to consider rebuilding their palettes or make adjustments before the Grand Tournament, because yes, realm modifiers are now going to be part of Grand Tournaments as well. Now, before we actually have a look at the current realm modifiers, let's have a look a little bit about the chat, because I'd appreciate a lot has gone in there. So Just Cope says, the more Draco cards, the better. I love them. Draco Supremacy. Yes, more Drakes. Just as I was thinking, I need to go through my palettes properly for them. Brilliant. Going feral for a deck entirely composed of dragons. Nice. Tora says, I have a long post being written to properly get my thoughts and modifiers out. Great. Genuinely, I can't disagree that in the Discord, there's been some people that are really on board. I appreciate there's been some people that have had some concerns. I cannot stress enough, folks, before we move on and before I read any more comments, I would like to mention at this point that realm modifiers is now a part of Achroma. It's something that we intend to bring out, and it's something we intend to keep. However, I can't stress enough, folks, that we are listening to the community, and if after a certain amount of time, realm modifiers goes down like a lead balloon, we are not that strict that we're just going to go, no, that's it, you've got it no matter what. Like, I can't stress enough, folks, and I know I keep saying that, but I really can't, that we are trying to build a game that is fun and keep it fun for everybody. So if we make a decision that ends up making it that the game is not fun, then we aren't afraid to make U-turns and remove things or change things, adapt things. Like, we're not doing this other than to try and keep the game fun for everybody. So if it doesn't end up working, then we could look to move it around. So I will say that now. But again, your feedback is critical, folks. So whether it's positive or constructive or just completely negative, let us know, whether it's in the Discord, in the feedback channels, whether it's directly in our DMs on Discord or our emails. Do let us know anything good and anything not so good. Anyway, what else was there in the chat in the meantime? It says, the more I play, the more I don't like them. Interesting to hear that statistic. Would like to hear why. Heron says, when you pick the realm, does it give you a prompt like it does for heroes and their abilities? As far as I'm aware, yes, Heron. I've not been shown the pre-production version because that's not my department. So I can't confirm or deny, but I believe it's a bit like heroes, yes, where it'll be an extra little thing you click to see. Ulfa says, as a Magic the Gathering player as well, the fact that things are newly being updated like this is quite a good thing, especially when it comes to balancing and stuff. Yeah, very, very fair comment. Anthony says, Taurus, I'm going to do one once I get some proper time to go through my cards. No, that is fair enough. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we want people to have a go. Even people that are looking on the face of it and going, I don't think this is going to work. I encourage everybody, have a go at it. If you play some games and you still have a negative or constructive opinion, again, let us know. We are open ears, hear it. But everyone give it a go. I am too. I'm going to be at an event tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. So this says, feels like it's moving to a seasonal game where players will come in and out. When they come back in, they'll buy cards to catch up. I mean, some people do that already, Sadistic. You do have a lot of, there are quite a few community members that I noticed that will play for like a month or so, like ridiculous, they'll play loads, and then they'll go off the radar for 2 or 3 months and then come back. Some people just genuinely only like the game when there is something new. Some people will only come back when we release new cards. So Realm Modifiers is there to try and bridge the gap between releases where we can shake things up, make things interesting, get creative with new palettes and just keep the game feeling fresh in between new cards. Time will tell how good they are for sure. For all we know, they might ultimately do nothing to the meta. Yeah, very true. They might change nothing as well. Yeah, if it is negative, be nice. Yeah, absolutely. Everything will be listened to. Cool. So yeah, to be very clear then, folks, in terms of, we will say that there is absolutely zero chance of this changing before the Grand Tournament in mid-December. The reason for that is because the last thing we want to do now is then like a week before the Grand Tournament make a change. So to be very clear, the realm modifiers as they currently stand and the whole idea of realm modifiers will be out now exactly as they are until the Grand Tournament. After the Grand Tournament, that's when we're first going to be looking at it, looking at the feedback and going, okay, how did the Grand Tournament go? How's the feedback been? And that's where, if there are going to be any changes, that's where anything might be changed. So let's have a look at the current realm modifiers then. So like I said, in the coming days, this will be in the app. It will prompt you nice and clearly, but until the app is updated, to have a go with them right away, it is on the website here. So if you play in the Salem Planum, your positive effect is in your resolve step, you can gain 1 for each prevent on your canvas, as prevent wasn't really being used very much in Salem, so that makes prevent palettes nice and strong. The negative effect is cards with claim cost 1 more shard to deploy, because those were arguably the strongest cards in Salem, and even with the 1 increased cost, they are still very, very good cards. In Draco, the positive effect is when you sacrifice, you can gain 1 shard. Because again, sacrifice was one of the keywords in Draco that was probably used the least, just due to how difficult it was to pull off and how often it would reduce your, what was on your canvas. So now you get to gain a shard when we do so. And the negative effect of Draco Planum is if you have more than 6 cards at the end of your hand, you must discard down to 6. Yes, a hand restriction, because one of the strongest palettes in Draco was research palettes, especially with cards like Vast Volataris. So I believe that's been put in there to hinder research a little bit. Sparata Planum, the positive effect is when using cards with shard reduction, you can gain 1 when you play it. So again, look, we in these initial modifiers, we've looked at which palettes, which factions are not being played versus which are being played too much, and help there. So there you go, shard reduction gets gain 1. And the negative effect in Sparata is in both your start and end steps combined, you may only trade once per turn. So if you trade at the start of your turn, you must draw at the end. You can double draw, but you can't trade twice. And then for Norso, the positive is for each opposing character you erase by attacking, you may gain 1 shard. So thank you very much. It encourages attacking. And the negative effect, if cards with the keyword trade on them cost 1 more shard to deploy, because we all know that in Norso, traders is also a strong card. So yeah, and these are supposed to be very subtle modifiers. Again, as you guys play it in the community, that's when it will really come out. But my personal opinion on these folks is when you look at the negatives, 'cause that's where people's eyes normally go first, the negatives. I don't think personally they are that hindrance. Yeah, claim costing 1 more, that can be that could be quite tough, but overall claim is normally very, very strong anyway. The Draco one, that's only going to really hinder you if you're playing a heavy research palette. Otherwise, most of the time you don't tend to have 6 or more cards in your hand. Sparata Planum, yeah, that is going to hinder decks like Raiders, but we all know that Sparata is still very, very strong, even with only 1 trade. And Norso Planum, even though trade cards cost 1 more, again, traders can still win very, very quickly. So I don't think these negatives are even that tough, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. So those are realm modifiers. Did I have anything else that I wanted to mention about them? Otherwise, I'll catch up with comments and we'll move on. I mentioned that. Cool. Lovely. So yeah, what other comments have we got in the meantime? What did I miss? So Tora said, honestly, I might wait till after the GT to really see how games play out, as I imagine a lot of people will be bringing weird decks to test them out. Which, yeah, I'm really hoping the next Grand Tournament is going to be full of weird and wonderful palettes because of it. In the sense of tournaments, it's needed, in my opinion. It's coming from Shaz. Shah will be trying out the realm modifiers tomorrow evening. Yeah, Shah. So when we go to Badger tomorrow, I personally will be playing with the modifiers because that is how we should be playing the game now. So I'd like to get some testing done tomorrow. It felt nice with the color reduction. That's good to know, Evan. Yeah, hand restriction. Sorry, Alpha. Just to confirm for Salem that it turns prevent straight into gain. So prevent 2 would be gain 2, or would it only be gain 1? So for each prevent on your canvas. So yes, if you had a card on your canvas that was prevent 2, then you've now got a card that is prevent 2 and gain 2. So prevent is very strong in Salem. Some of you know I have a Kara Curdle prevent palette that I cannot wait to play now. My Draco deck might need a slight change, how I draw and as I use Vast Volataris. There we go. So yeah, might need to make a few adjustments. Statistic says, I think banning cards or Rata would have been better, but I'm still trying out the modifiers, still bidding palettes. I want to see how the Grand Tournament goes. Yeah, that's a good mentality to have. I hate that, but I love it. Oh no, Vast. Yeah, exactly. So Vast can now only be maximum of +6 per turn. What a shame. I mean, technically it's +8 when you consider its natural resolve. Yeah, Sarah says I really like how it's going to change up the play. Vast is still super strong. Yeah, Vast is still can be more than 6 as you drop your hand. Yes, exactly. That's very true. You only have to discard down at the end of your turn, so you could still do a ton of research in your turn and then get a big payout with Vast. You're just then going to lose cards at the end. Cool, so that is Realm Modifiers. As a reminder, folks, you can go to achroma.games/pages/Realm Modifiers. The link is down below to read about it and see the current Realm Modifiers. And it will be in the app in the coming days. I'll message on Discord when it comes out. If you have any other questions about Achroma Modifiers, then feel free to let me know in the chat or in Discord at a later time. So where were we? Back to the rest of the news. So the next bit of news is just a quick mention about the keyword protection. So the keyword protection has had a slight change in the rulebook. So the way protection used to be worded was it used to be worded that protection meant that your characters couldn't be erased, but they could still be drained of shards. It's just that when they reach 0 shards, that they can't be erased, but any attacks would go through them, almost like they've run out of protection, so damage goes through. Now, without going into too much of a backstory, the reason why we added that little caveat of, oh, they can be drained, but they don't get erased when they reach 0, was to stop a card called Club of Dagda that had a bit of an infinite going on, which was not ideal. However, it was noted to us that actually what ended up happening was the update that we then brought in ended up actually causing a lot of other cards with protection to not make sense. It's a perfect example of we made a change with best intentions, but ended up accidentally breaking something else. So, you know, a bit like we said with Realm Modifiers, we are not afraid to go back and make changes. So I can confirm, if I now actually bring it on screen to show you, this is from the official website. So we've changed protection. For most people, you probably were playing protection this way anyway. It actually makes it much simpler. So put simply, a card with protection cannot be erased or drained of any shards by another player. This includes by actions, abilities, and during attacks, unless the opponent has poisonous. See the above for poisonous. So effectively, we've made it now so that protection, you just can't be drained of shards. If you have protection, can't be erased and can't be drained. Simple as that. Provided it's by another player. You know, if you do it to yourself, like if you play your own Drain the Woods, then obviously it's going to hit you. So yeah, that change means that now it kind of fixes all the issues that we had. It does mean the Club of Dagda Infinite is now back, but we'll handle that at a later date if it becomes an issue. So there we go. So that is the changes to protection. For most people, that probably wouldn't have actually made a difference to how you've been playing the game. It's only a very small change. So the next bit of the news is about the fact that the showcase was cancelled. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on this, folks, because the message that we put out is worded much better than I could say it myself. So all I'll say, because the only reason I'm mentioning it on stream is because there might be some people that have not seen the email and not seen the Discord message. So I want to make sure that everybody has had a chance to see it. For those who weren't aware, our showcase that we were going to be doing on this Thursday has unfortunately had to be cancelled. Rather than me going through the whole message on stream, all I'll say is that if this is the first time you're hearing of that, to find out why, you can click the link down below or go to achroma.games/pages/showcase. And there is a full statement there from Jack Constantine, the Realm Runner Studios CEO. It's also in the Discord as well under announcements to read exactly why that unfortunately has been cancelled. Well, sorry, not cancelled, rearranged, I should say, because we are going to be doing it. It's just going to be spring, summer next year rather than this week. And some of the projects that we have been working on, like Dexter's Dragon Riders, for example, we're now just going to be talking about in the coming time. So yes, if you were coming to the showcase, please, make sure that you don't, because there'll be no one there at the door. So that is about the showcase. Next bit of news is around alt arts. So we have managed to get some of the alt art cards now for sale on the Achroma.games website. So if you go to Achroma.games and go to the shop, and there's a section for single cards, we have now managed to start selling the alt art online. Now, I should mention, folks, it's only a very limited amount of them, whilst we kind of test the waters as to how popular that might be. But if you are looking to pick up an an alt art, then you now can do. As a reminder, these alt arts are not game changing. They are purely for collectors out there. You know, if you already have Monastery Keeper, for example, the alt art version, there's nothing different apart from just collecting it. The other way to get alt arts is to simply buy an Achroma palette, and there's a 50% chance of getting one. But if you want to just happily just pick one up, you can buy it. It's obviously going to be a little bit more expensive, but those single cards are there on the website if you are not already. And keep in mind, I should mention that we are still during the Black Friday sale. It's 30% of everything. Now, this is only until midnight tonight. Obviously, it's been going on for a week, so if anybody is hearing this for the first time now, then I apologize, but we did put out on all our other socials. Yes, there is the Achroma Black Friday sale, 30% off everything, and that includes those alt art cards, which is running till midnight tonight. So if you haven't already, as a reminder, get your sales in if you are looking to get something for Christmas or get something for a friend or expand your collection. All you got to do is go to achroma.games, click shop, put in anything that you need to, and at the end type in Black Friday 23 to get 30% off everything. You know, our most expensive product at the moment is obviously the Realm Runner deluxe boxes that normally cost £150. You can get one of those for £105 plus obviously shipping, which is huge. So definitely take a look on the website and look to expand your collection or get those Christmas presents before midnight tonight. Because I'll tell you now, folks, although I'm sure we will have some Christmas sales and some Boxing Day sales and things like that, you know, we'll always do things like that. I would put a bet that it's not going to be 30%. So get it in if you haven't already, folks. I spent far too much on alt art. Damn you, Achroma. Charlie, I'm in a conventional week. That is very true, Alpha. That is very true. So there we go. This is your warning, Alpha, that if there's anything else you want to pick up, my friends, 30% off before the end of tonight. I wish they went on longer. Honestly, me too. I know there are a couple of people that are thinking, I don't get paid for another day or two. Yeah. It is a shame. If I had any control, I would extend it for a couple of days for payday, but unfortunately, that is not in my job description. But yes, midnight tonight, folks, for that. And then I wouldn't be, every week I always like to mention it, folks, that we are still currently in the Sparata full season. So if you haven't already been aware that when you spend £30 or more at Achroma.games, you will get a Sparata full promo card added to your basket. It is a limited edition promo card. Only 1,200 have been made, and it's only available until the end of this season, which will be the end of December. I would still mention that I haven't checked from last week. I know that last week when we moved across to Achroma.games, it wasn't showing in your basket if you spent £30 or more. I'm not sure if that has been fixed as of yet. You know what? Let me do a bit of community service and just double check if it has. I will double check now. Although what I will say, folks, is if it's not adding automatically to the basket, let me just quickly add that and see if that's done it. No, it doesn't. So to be very clear, currently at the moment, when you spend £30 or more in the game, it won't actually show the Sparata Full in your basket. But I can't stress enough, folks, if you do spend £30 or more, there will be one in your package sent to you. So that is the Sparata Full promo card. I definitely took advantage of the offer, picked up a full delivery box. Very nice indeed. So let's look at some of the events coming up then. So the first ones I like to mention are the regular ones. So Achroma Thursdays at the Five Realms Gaming Lounge in Poole, 6 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. They do often do a £2 mini event, but it is also just free for casual play. Thursdays at 6 p.m. if you want to come down to the Five Realms Gaming Lounge. On Mondays at 6:15, well, you might even be there now, actually. Maybe if anyone's watching the stream from Patriot Games, do let me know. It's technically happening right now. Patriot Games up in Sheffield do a Achroma palette practice at 6:15. And then Boards and Swords Hobbies. So on a Tuesday, normally at 6 p.m, a group of people get together for a Achroma night at Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. So feel free to head over to there if you live in that area. Now, we do also have a few extra events. Now, the first one I don't actually have an image for, unfortunately, so I'm just going to keep Boards and Sword Hobbies on. But the first, we've got 2 extra events happening this week. So the first one is happening tomorrow, which I appreciate for some people might be a bit short notice, but for anybody that lives in London or can get to London, tomorrow evening at Badger, which is a board game cafe in London. You can just Google Badger and find it quite easily. It's the only Badger in London. So tomorrow at 6:30, they are hosting a Achroma kind of casual games night. So there is going to be some promo cards available for the event. tournament. And I think they are also going to throw a couple of prizes in, maybe some casual tournaments if we fancy it. I will be there. So for those that want to come and meet me, I will be at Badger tomorrow from 6:30. I'm also bringing my dog Greyjoy for those that are excited about that. And I'm aware that quite a few of the London community of Achroma are going to be going as well. So there should be a nice little group of Achroma people at Badger tomorrow at 6:30. So if you are in the London area, it is free to enter. Then come along because it should be good fun. I'll PM you later, Charlie, but I tried to go for something I wanted. It didn't work for me. Possibly a me problem. Don't worry too much. Yeah, no worries. We can jump in a call straight after stream if that helps, mate. And yeah, Greyjoy will be coming. And then hello, King Knights. Are there any other ways to grab the seasonal promo cards? I must have about 5 Sparta Fools now. Oh, great question. So if you're talking about the other ones, as in like the Draco one and the, as in the ones that you've missed, King. So in terms of the ones you've missed, I'm going to be honest, there is no official way to get them, King, as in we don't sell them or give them out. Now I will say that we do still have a few copies laying around of the others, and I believe that our plan is to potentially do some occasional giveaways where we give away like one of each seasonal promo card and things like that. But in terms of getting your hands on them ASAP, unfortunately at this point it's just going to be secondhand market. So what I'd recommend you do, King, if you haven't already, is join our Discord, the link of which is down below, and there is a marketplace forum in the Discord. If you just pop in there that you're looking for some, you know, Salem Springs or some Draco Summers, I know there's quite a lot of people that have quite a few of them spare, so I'm sure that a few people wouldn't mind parting ways with them for a few quid here and there, or trading for a couple of Sparta Falls or something like that. So ask around is the best question, but unfortunately there's no official way. So the other event I want to talk about is there is an event happening this Saturday in Southampton, for anybody close to Southampton. So this is happening at Dice and Dumplings, which is in Southampton. Again, the actual full address, if you just Google Dice and Dumplings Southampton, you can't miss it. It's quite a unique name. So Saturday 2nd, starting at midday, there are going to be some pallets provided for free, which has been mentioned by Dice and Dumplings. So if you have not played Achroma, or if you have some friends that haven't played, get them down. There will be some pallets there to play for free. However, you can also just bring your own games. Effectively, it is simply just a bring your cards down and play some Achroma. It's, you know, I think it's Dice and Dumplings trying to get a bit of a Achroma community crowd gathered up, and there are quite a few of the community members heading down there as well to try and build that community there. So definitely, if you live anywhere near the Southampton, head down to Dice and Dumplings to try out that's this Saturday at 12 p.m. And we'll find out more about it on the Sunday stream. Hey, that's not too far from you. Very nice. Maybe wants to know, so Winter is out, do a set of 4 like the old arts. Yeah, exactly that, Auntie. I mean, I should be very clear. We have like a very, very small amount of the previous ones that didn't get sold. So if we did put them out for sale, they probably would be either for giveaways or like they'd be like a premium limited edition product. But there might be some, you know, thrown around at some point soon. So there we go. That is the event at Dice and Dumplings. And then the last event to talk about is the one we mentioned last week, which is the official Achroma Grand Tournament happening on the Saturday, 16th of December, 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. So I will be there for this one. This is the official, This is the official Achroma Grand Tournament happening at the Five Realms Gaming Lounge. We do one of these every 3 months as part of our Achroma seasons. It is £6 entry, which is quite, you know, it's £6, a bit more than the normal £2 a week. However, it's because there are some huge prizes up for grabs, as we always do. It is going to be canvas format, and I should mention it is including the realm modifiers, so keep that in mind. It is bring your own palette, all ages welcome, and yeah, there'll be lots of prizes and also free promos for everybody that turns up. 12 till 6 p.m. If you want to know more about the Achroma Grand Tournament in terms of the rules we follow, then go to our website where you can find the Grand Tournament rules, which, by the way, I do need to update that with the realm modifiers. Keep that in mind. The music hasn't gone down. I thought the music had stopped, but it's just a quiet bit. So there you go. That is the Achroma Grand Tournament. I'm hoping to go to the next event, and me and Seb will be there. Very nice. All right, so that is the end of the events. That is the end of the that is the end of the news, events, and previews. I don't have any new Sparata previews for you today because we did Dexter's Dragon Riders instead, but I'm sure I'll have some more for you come this Sunday. So I know that Sparata Chapter 2 is relatively around the corner, so we'll have some more previews of that coming very soon. But in the meantime, like I said, we're not going to be doing a Realm Table segment today, and that is just because I've been on holiday for 4 days. We've not had a chance to properly organize it. So we're going to go straight into the final part of the stream, which is the Community Showcase. So this is where we shine a light on you guys in the community and all the amazing things that you guys have done instead. So first things first, talking about the content creators. I don't have individual images for these, but all of the content creators I'm about to mention, their links are down below. So definitely check out the content creators for Achroma and give some support to their amazing stuff. So this week from Draco Temple, Echo has brought out 2 new articles. One which was about the recent tournament at Patriot Games, kind of debriefing that. And he's also brought out a article about the Realm Modifiers and the initial news about that. We've had lots of new stuff from playing Achroma at blogspot.com, most recently being a new video about a Hex Clunker build. Again, that is linked down below. I believe he's put that on all of his socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, his blog website. So make sure to check that out. Antonomy93 at blogspot.com has also brought out some new articles as well, linked down below. They've done articles on the keyword poisonous. They've done some on divert palettes. They've done one on advanced scouting party. And even for those that are looking to get into custom palette building, they've done an article on essentially how they look to build custom palettes. So a really good entry point for that. So yeah, definitely check out all of those new bits of content down below. Then for the community content, I'll be honest, we haven't had any new fan-made content this week, so no fan art or anything like that. So we're going to go straight to the palette building challenge. So every week I tend to set a palette building challenge for the community. And last week's challenge was to build... create the best legal Achroma canvas palette that is based around locations. Because locations often get forgotten about, but they are some of the strongest cards in Achroma just because of how difficult they are to remove because they can't be attacked. So I said, show me your best Achroma palette builds with locations. I already have my deck up before we set the challenge. Very nice. So let's go through these palettes and we'll judge and see which one we think ended up being the best. So this first palette, in fact, I'm just going to take a drink whilst you guys take this one in because need to stay hydrated. So this first palette is from Playing Achroma, otherwise known as Ricky in the Discord. So they've done a Hex Clunker build. And now when I mentioned a few moments ago, the fact that Ricky has done a new YouTube short, it's actually on this palette. So if you wish to hear Ricky's explanation of this palette, then you can check out the short, again, at the link down below. So you can see here that the main core of this build is Hex Clunker. Hex Clunker has been used a few times in this challenge. So Hex Clunker is a really powerful Salem location. It's a +2 in the resolve, and once during your turn, you can find or dig for an object and immediately play it for free. So as you can imagine, this palette is all around replaying those objects. So the objects you've got Achroma Converter, which is huge, attached to a location, and once per turn, erase a card with Chroma. Really strong object. You've obviously got your Muon Spheres and Corrupted Muon Traps, which is all there for your control. Hex Clunker parts for your gain. And I think that's it. It's literally that is your main sort of tactic, I guess. Now, your 2 rares here, Izaz and Algiz. You can see it, for those that haven't played with the Realm runes before, these reveal a card with yellow or reveal a card with cyan and play it for free. And if you actually look at the rest of this build, you'll notice that there are... Oh, sorry, and Sintamani Stone. Of course, that's another object. You'll notice here that there are no cards, apart from Hex Clunker, that have cyan or yellow. So effectively, these 2 cards are only in this palette to be able to reveal Hex Clunker. Because let's say that this palette completely revolves around Hex Clunker, and let's say that you shuffle badly and Hex Clunker is at the bottom of your palette. You would use, when Algiz or Izaz comes into your hand, you can use that as almost like a second or third chance to get your Hex Clunker. And if you've already got your Hex Clunker out and you then got your Algiz in your hand, well, it's good trade material. And yeah, you've got Sintamani Stone, which allows you to dig for a card and return it for free. So you could use your Hex Clunker Engineer to dig for Sintamani Stone, then play it to Hex Clunker back as well. Essentially, I've played against a palette like this quite a lot. It is brutal. It's the palette where you just can't keep Hex Clunker down. Now, I've noticed there are some extra Cove cards in here. So I've not actually seen a palette build like this with Cove cards. So we got Hinkley with Divert, so you can have a few divert a few locations. I'm not sure why you would do that, because the only other location you've got is Veiled Chest. So I'm not sure what you would do with that, because I mean, all locations on your canvas have Divert. You're not really going to divert anything onto Hexclunker, because Hexclunker's not going to have protection, but maybe you just use it because he's a 3-cost +1 with Divert, maybe. You got Veiled Chaser's Nest, which is another opportunity to reveal a location. Again, that's now 3 cards to get that 1 back. Obviously, you've got some strong characters for Poisonous and Divert, some Lone Survivors for card draw, then just generally some strong actions. Overall, very, very good. Wait a sec, do you say you can attach objects to a location? So, as standard, no, just Cope. So, on the rules, you can only attach objects to characters unless they say otherwise. At this point in time, there are only 3 objects that I'm aware of. Please correct me in chat if I'm... No, sorry, only 2. There's only 2 objects that I'm aware of right now that are in legal cards that you can attach to objects, and can attach to locations, and both of them are in this palette. So you've got Achroma Converter. It says, attach to a location, and once during your turn, you may erase a card with any chroma. And the other one is this one here, which I can't zoom into very well, but it's called Hexclunker Parts. Attach to a location, and you can attach it to Hexclunker for free, so it costs you nothing to do that, and it's a +3 card. So yeah, overall, this is a really, really strong location build. When we say location build, it literally revolves around one location, but the whole thing is about Hexclunker. It's super heavy on control. The only thing I'd say about this particular palette is it's going to win very slowly. You haven't actually got that much gain, drain, or steal. So this is very much a late to end the game palette, but it's going to do very well to get there. So there we go. That is that one from Ricky. The next one I've got is not too... Well, it's actually quite different, actually. It still uses Hexclunker. So this is from Sadistic Dane. It's also a Hexclunker build. Now, Sadistic did give us a bit of information about it, so I'm just going to read out what Sadistic said about this one. So Sadistic said, the general aim is to play as many locations as possible, followed by a Dark Rainbow, which is on there. Curse all the cards, +2 for each card out there. Because location decks are getting a little bit popular, you ideally want to go second and Tempest to gain the opponent's location. So Tempest is an action down here. Each player gives all the locations to the person on the right. So what Sadistic is saying is ideally you want to go second, let your opponent play some locations, then Tempest to get them before playing your own. If they don't run locations, even better, then you load up on your locations, they load up on characters, and then you Tempest to give them your locations, and then Dark Rainbow for a big gain. Right, so what Sadistic's saying here is, let's say you play 3 locations on your first turn, and then your opponent plays 3 characters, then on your next turn, if you Tempest followed by a Dark Rainbow, technically, yes, you are giving your opponent your 3 locations and you get nothing in return. But now when you Dark Rainbow, your opponent has 6 cards, so you're going to be getting 12 shards back in return. Now, I appreciate maybe that's not a good second turn move, but maybe third or fourth turn, that could be the difference between you winning the game there and then. What else has Sadistic said? They said... use Bothy to protect Huxon or Hinkley. Could use some control. Sadistic is admitting that maybe some hostile takeovers or some fireballs could be needed, or maybe some more objects for Hex. But I should add, Hexclunker isn't even needed. I just didn't have a legendary to add. So Hexclunker is not the main part of this build. Effectively, this build is all around playing a ton of locations and dropping a Dark Rainbow. Yeah. I like that. Obviously, you got Cove plenty. Whenever you deploy a location, draw a card. Huxon obviously benefits from all the locations. And Lana Opal, I'm not too sure why she's in there. I personally would maybe swap her out for a different rare, but otherwise, yeah, pretty good. Excuse me. I'd maybe swap out Lana Opal for a Sintamani Stone or just a strong Realm Relic that you can use for Hexclunker. That could be quite good. Very, very cool. All right, so that one's from Sadistic. The next one is from Dickon. This is his Aurium Fracture palette. Now, he did want to mention that this was pre-Realm Modifiers. So considering this is around trading, he says that he might make a few changes to this palette now that the Realm Modifiers have come in. But this is, well, let me read out what he said about it. So he said, here is my location-heavy palette with a focus on trading. We have 11 locations, including Wishwell Barrens, Traders Pass, Storeholes, all very solid locations to make trade more profitable. Not to mention load the carts for when you're in a bit of a pinch. Fishing dock, trader's cart, and Orium trade increase the number of trades you can do without affecting your hand. And obviously you have lots of card draw from Lakringi Gardens, Orium Fracture, and Cave Expedition. When we then have the big trade and draw cards of this palette, like Trader's Lifeline and Knut, all in all, set your locations up, trade your necessary cards for massive gain. So yeah, in short, you set up your locations and then do some amazing trade combos. Admittedly, this palette is going to be a little bit tougher now that the Realm Modifier has made the trade cards cost 1 more, but this is still going to be a very, very strong palette. The only thing that I've always said about trade palettes is the lack of control. Effectively, quite often people say with traders, you're effectively playing solitaire because you're almost playing a game by yourself. Because really, apart from that one falling stalactite, there's no other cards really that you can use to control your opponent's canvas. Well, I guess there's also a Lakringi Way in there as well. So yeah, if your opponent is getting a really strong board, there's not much you can do apart from just try to out chroma them, which is easily done with traders, in fairness. So yeah, that is a nice one from Dickon. Well done. The next one is from Antinomy. This is their Guardians of Flutterby Falls palette. So again, I'll read out what Antinomy has said for this one. So this is a Sprata palette with a heavy focus on locations, using Guardians as the legendary, although the Blue Rift could replace it if you would rather the card advantage. General idea is to rely on your locations for gains whilst utilizing the reduction pieces to make your cards cheaper to deploy. If you draw Awaken the Guardians, you'll generally win that turn as long as you've had a good start with at least 4 to 5 locations down. Everything else is basically the usual suspects of draw and power control that makes Sprata such a powerful realm. If you end up versus the Freeze palette, sucks to be you, I guess, is what he said there. Biggest theoretical gain you can get just from the locations alone, for those interested, assuming you've somehow got all of your possible locations out, is 76, 4 of that being steel, although that's likely never going to happen. So in kind of nice and simple terms then, so what this palette basically is it's lots of locations, and then it all revolves around this card up here, Awaken the Guardians. For those that have not seen this rare before, it costs 6, and it's an action. Until the start of your next turn, all locations on your canvas have Prevent 1 and Splat 3. So effectively, every location gets an extra +3 in the resolve. So even if you just had 5 locations out, you're going to be getting 15 gain, plus all of the gain from those locations. Yes, admittedly, you're going to have to spend 6 to do that. So, okay, your net gain is only going to be, in that situation, +9. But even still, +9 for a action card is still pretty huge. And in a palette that is all revolved around locations, that is pretty huge. Keep in mind as well that with the current realm modifiers, Guardians of Flutterby Falls is now technically... okay, how insane is this? With the current modifiers as they are, Guardians of Flutterby Falls is normally a Prevent 4, Splat 4. Technically, it's Prevent 4, Gain 4, Splat 4. That card is effectively a +8 Prevent floor. How ridiculous is that in the current modifiers? So I'd imagine, I'm not going to lie, I'd be surprised if we didn't see a few Guardians of Flutterby Fall palettes for the Grand Tourney. And then, yeah, as Antinomy said, the rest of the cards in this palette don't really need much explanation. They are kind of just the very standard strong cards that you see. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the wrong one. It's the Shard Reduction. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe I'm glad that we didn't do that for the modifier for Sprata, because that'd have been crazy. Sorry, it's the reduction. But okay, even still. What was the modifier again? Every time you play a card with reduction, you gain 1, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you got 6 cards of +1. So yeah, the modifiers have still made this palette a bit stronger. I'd still say this is a very strong palette anyway. Very, very good. Cool, so that is from Antinomy. We've got 2 more to go. The next one is from Echo. So this is Echo's Halura Draco palette. So again, I'll read this one out here. So Echo has said, for this one, there is no characters at all. The idea is that your cards will stick around longer than most. Consequently, it has a lot of character control actions, such as, because attacking is an option, he's putting lots of attacking... Sorry, because there's not a way to attack, really, in this palette, he's putting a lot of actions that erase characters. Albeit you have got your legendary who does turn into a character on your turn. So yes, you got 2 Wolfgangs, Dragon's Flare, Breath of Fire, Chromatic Extinction that all erase characters. You got Freeze from Tawny River, Valley Caves. It's essentially a really nice mixture of cards. So let's see what we got here. So yeah, great legendary, great control, steal. Mirror Sanctum's brilliant, and Snowdrift, yeah, be able to freeze a character and freeze a location. I personally would probably swap out Mirror Sanctum for the pools rare, which gives you +2 every time you freeze a card. I think that would be probably a little bit better because you've got quite a lot of freeze in this. So I'd personally swap. Actually, no, I'd probably swap out Corrupted Portal. Actually, keep it Mirror Sanctum. I'd swap out Corrupted Portal for Slay Scorch pools. But yeah, so you got some freezing. Achroma Storehouse is huge. So Achroma Storehouse is choose a color and gain +2 for every card on your canvas with that color. So you know, theoretically, cyan and red and blue are your biggest colors here. You could effectively, let's go cyan. I appreciate it's unlikely, but you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You could easily have double digits for that. That's obviously huge. Ice Falls, fantastic card because of considering how much cyan there is. Draco Planum Library, great choice anyway for the research. Monastery Nest, why wouldn't you have that? Promo card, why wouldn't you have that? Quake, obviously great control card with the amount of freeze in here as well. Yeah, really, really strong. Actually, I think this is actually a I think this is a comp-worthy palette. It's got a lot of gain, lots of freeze, which is a great way of controlling Chroma palettes, lots of control for the other ones. And unless your opponent has lots of ways to deal with locations, they will struggle with you. Breath of Ice or Fire can erase a location, very useful. Yeah, absolutely. They're really strong locations. I don't build any Draco palettes without a Breath of Fire or a Breath of Ice normally. You wanted Mirror Sanctum. Oh, I see. You wanted to Mirror Sanctum the Corrupted Portal for laughs. Yeah, that is very true. Because a lot of people don't realize, but you can't Mirror Sanctum a heroic location. So, for example, if you already had Hulara out, you couldn't Mirror Sanctum him, but you can the Corrupted Portal. So I see you want to do this particular combo to get 4 steal. You know what? That's fair play, Echo. I can still see that being very strong. And it works well with Ice Falls and Achroma Storehouse, true. That is very true. I mean, yeah, if it was me personally, I would keep the Mirror Sanctum, as I agree that has some really good synergy with Achroma Storehouse and Ice Falls, but I'd probably remove Corrupted Portal and put in Slay Scorch, but I guess it depends on whether you want a more Chroma or more hybrid. But again, either way, fantastic. Achroma Storehouse, that card, Charlie clocked my game with the card when we played. Yeah, that's the card I used and managed to get very close to winning before you guys managed to wait, did I win that game? I feel like you guys managed to drain me away in the end. I can't remember. But yeah, very, very strong card. Cool. And then so yeah, very, very strong palette there from Echo. And then the last one is from Mojo Beans in the Discord. So this is their Veil Chaser build. You haven't won any games with us, I think. I mean, to be fair, you guys have been playing pretty well, but I'm not surprised that you guys teamed up on me a little bit where possible. Hey, I'm not sour. It was the right decision to do. But no, I don't think I have actually. So this last one's from Mojo Beans. I'm actually really glad that this location has been put in because Veil Chaser doesn't get enough love in my opinion. It's a location that doesn't really get played very much. So Veil Chaser, it's a shame I can't zoom in on it when it's at the edge of the palette thinger, but it's a 6-cost location with naturally +2, and on your turn you've got 3 options. You can pay 1 shard to give a character divert, you can pay 2 shards to immediately gain 5 shards, or you could pay 3 shards to make it so that your characters can't be attacked until your next turn. So it makes your characters are just a bit invincible. But yeah, so we got a palette around this. All Mojo said about it was it's currently my favorite palette at the moment as it chunks gain very quickly. So let's see what we've got. You've got, what are the rares? You've got Cove of Plenty, which is good for locations. Algiz, which I presume is in there to get Veil Chaser or Cove of Plenty. What other rares have we got in here? Huxon, great choice as well, because that gives you +1 for every character and location. Are we missing a rare? I think they've only built this with, oh no, sorry. There's the other rare. I mean, to be fair, to be very clear, you don't have to build a palette with 4 rares. Achroma Converter, which is a very, very strong card. And then the rest of it looks like it's just really strong locations. Rankled Wood, fantastic. Ludlam City Gate, really well paired with Ludlam City Guards. Got a nice +3 from Galley's Arch. Curdle Mine for the cheap steel. Obviously, Cove of Plenty we mentioned. Cove Caves again for the cheap steel. Promo cards, Hex Clunker Parts. I like it. It's a relatively, and I don't mean this in any contradicting way, it's a relatively simple palette in the sense that there's no like crazy strats or anything. It's just about get out your nice, strong locations and keep them there. You know, you could, the only thing I'd say is the palette doesn't have very much control. A Achroma Converter and a couple of Fireballs. I guess you got some bribes as well. I take that back. There's 5 cards there for control. That's 6 cards, actually. That's enough, actually. Ignore me. I misspoke. But yeah, I like it. Got some card draw in there. I think that's a really, really solid Curdle Hill location build. What else have you guys been saying in chat? Hey, newbies ganging up on the pro. It has to be done. It does. It does. I don't blame you. Keep up the good work. We intend to. Yeah, you have been a lot of, I mean, Luna's been doing really well. She's been playing pre-con Drakes, and I think she did a little bit of mixing up with Drakes. She's been doing quite well with that. You'd be surprised how much we've been trying for Achroma wins, but they just played, yeah. I'll say now that, especially when you're new to the game, Achroma is definitely the hardest win to get. It's just so much trickier. You have to be so much more skilled at your keeping your own shards high enough to play those cards down. And especially in multiplayer games, if there's not an even amount of Achroma to Chroma, then Achroma will really struggle. Like if you're playing 1 Achroma versus 3 Chroma, the Achroma player has to be ruthless to win. But it's the same thing other way around. Like if you do 3 Achroma versus 1 Chroma, you'd be very surprised to see the Chroma player win. It's just the natural balance of a game. My one only has Huxon in as well. Yes, very true, Heron. Ended up 6th last weekend. Oh, very nice. So there we go. So those are the 6 palettes that have been created this week for the challenge. I'd say of all of them, I think personally, my favorite, I think I'm going to go for Echoes. I am a sucker for Draco, but I just think this is a really well-rounded palette. All of them are fantastic, but I think this one has a really nice amount of control. It has lots of burst potential. I think the only thing, maybe the one change I would make with this one, actually, coming back to this, when you look at it, there's very little way of replaying your card. So what I mean by that is, let's say you play some of your best locations and then suddenly it gets wiped. There's no way to bring them back. What I'd maybe say is, considering that you can't have 2 of these promos out at the same time, maybe drop 1 promo card and maybe put in 1 Draco Graveyard. So at a push, you could maybe throw away a Quake and a Achroma Creator to get back your Chroma Storehouse or get back your, your Mirror Sanctum or a key card. So I'd say that's the only change. But otherwise, yeah, I really like Echoes. Can attack and they can't attack you. Echoes can. Yeah, I mean, there is technically 1 card you can attack with in this, which is Halura. But yes, you're right. If you play this particular palette, you won't be attacked unless you're playing against Raiders. Prescribing Raiders. There are some cards that allow you to attack locations, which could be a big counter. But hey, yeah, or drop that promo for the Siege Draco Temple promo. That's a very good point as well. Very good. So there we go. So that is this week's, last week's palette build challenge. So before we end the stream, let's look at this week's challenge. I deliberately didn't build up the old promo because I know a lot of people don't have it. You know what? That is a very, very fair comment, Mark. I appreciate that. Obviously, you as a content creator, for those that know, again, Draco Temple, we did link it down below. Yeah, I appreciate you probably want to build palettes that are more approachable for newer players, which obviously Altari currently is. So fully respect that as well. So this week's challenge then, I've put this week's challenge around the fact that obviously Realm Modifiers have just come out, and I imagine that a lot of people are going to be building palettes around them, so why not make this week's deck building challenge around it? So I appreciate that it might be a little bit of a boring one because it's not anything too creative, but this week what I want to see you guys do, if you want to get involved with this week's community palette building challenge, is I want you guys to create the strongest as possible legal canvas palette utilizing one of the positive realm modifiers. So do you remember we said the modifiers are, I haven't got my screen, the positive realm modifiers. So if you're making it in Salem Planum, then it's around the fact that prevent gives you gain 1. If you're doing it in Draco Planum, it's the fact that sacrifice gives you gain 1 when you sacrifice. If you're playing in Sparata Planum, then it's going to be a shard reduction palette. If you're playing in Norso Planum, then it's all around builds that allow you to attack multiple times. So what I want you guys to do is create the strongest legal canvas palette that you can, where it all revolves, your palette building idea revolves around one of the realm modifiers, the positive ones. If you haven't done one of our community palette building challenges before, then what I'll be doing is join our Discord down below, because in the Canvas forum, right after this stream, I will be posting a forum post for this week's challenge where you can then use the community deck builders to build your image and post it in there, and I'll be showing them all this Sunday on stream. Play Tempest and watch the tiers. Yeah, Tempest is his nemesis, but it's one of those things that you just don't know what you're going to be playing against, I guess. Well, there we go. So that is the end of this week's Achroma weekly live stream. Obviously, to recap some of the big news, we've had the fact that we have announced Dexter's Dragon Riders. More on that throughout the week. Obviously, we've talked about Realm Modifiers as well as some awesome events coming this week. So the next Achroma weekly live stream will be this Sunday at 7 p.m. So we're back to the usual weekly live stream. So this Sunday, coming only 6 days away at 7 p.m. will be the next one. But in the meantime, folks, I can't stress enough, if you haven't already, please join our Discord down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that as well. Once we reach 500 subscribers, we are going to do another giveaway. And I hope you've enjoyed it, because we enjoy giving you these little weekly live streams, updating you on all of the lovely information. Massive thank you to everybody that has been in the live stream chat with me. You guys make it so much more fun for me when I have live people to talk to. And even if you did watch this on the recording, thank you very much for doing so and watching all the way to the end as well. Don't forget, even if you are watching the recording, you can still leave comments on any of the live streams and I will respond to them, especially if you have any questions. But yeah, thank you very much, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evenings out. I know sometimes after streams I jump in for games. I won't be tonight just because I literally only got back from my 4-day holiday down in Brixham an hour before the stream. So I now need to walk the dog, have some dinner, and unpack my bags and stuff. So I won't be playing any tonight. But I will be around Tuesday. Obviously, tomorrow I'll be at Badger. Wednesday and Thursday, I'll probably be playing some Achroma games in the Discord. So hopefully I'll see you guys for some games. But thank you very much, folks. Have a great start to your week. But even if we bully you, Charlie, yeah, I'll stick around. No, thank you, Wolfer. Appreciate it, guys. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you in this week's stream. See you guys.